It was a night full of festivities in Foxboro, highlighted by Rodney Harrison going into the Patriots Hall of Fame. I'm Alex Barth, joined by Lazar and Mike Petraglia. This is the Foxboro Report, powered by betonline.ag. Visit clnsmedia.com/win today and use the promo code CLNS50 for 50% cash back. Trags, will start with you. Rodney Harrison spoke for about 15 minutes at the podium, also spoke to the media. Bill Belichick was nice enough to join us, gave us some words, some gushing words about Rodney Harrison as well. I know some of that stood out to you.
Very much so, Alex. Humble and passionate. Bill Belichick opened his remarks after Rodney Harrison's 15-minute address to the fans here outside Gillette Stadium. And Belichick asked a rhetorical question. Have you ever heard a more humbled or passionate speech by a player? And he went on to say, that's what I saw every day in practice from Rodney Harrison. And what was interesting, I thought, from Rodney here on Monday evening was his acknowledgement that he and Willie McGinnis spoke to the team on Sunday after practice, and he said, leadership and preparedness, that was our 12th man. Throughout our great years, 2003, 2004, and for the 6 seasons Rodney Harrison was here. And I had a chance to ask him in his press conference after his address, and he said, look, it's a great point. These players have to take accountability. It can't just be the coaching staff getting them prepared for Sundays. It has to be the players taking it upon themselves. And I think that's the message he wants to convey to the 2019 Patriots on the defensive side of the ball. Certainly not the Devin McCourties, because as Rodney Harrison said, guys, Devin McCourty's already there. He is a leader. He's shown that he gets it here in Foxboro. But he wants the younger players and maybe the newer players like a Michael Bennett to understand that you have to work your tail off to be as prepared as the coaching staff will have you prepared on Sundays.
And Rodney Harrison was so prepared. We found this out, a story that he told that sometimes Bill Belichick wasn't even ready for him. The defensive coordinators weren't ready. He said that he would disguise, Belichick said Rodney would disguise coverages so well. Sometimes the coaching staff on the sideline thought that he had forgotten the play. Evan, what did specifically in that role, in that pre-snap role, and Belichick talked about him confusing guys like Peyton Manning and Ben Roethlisberger, how did he affect that defense pre-snap?
Rodney Harrison's what's called a lurker. Right, he's always lurking, and he's just around the line of scrimmage, or he's in the deep half. And a lot of the time, I think what was so great about Rodney and Ty Law specifically working off of each other is they would actually switch assignments right after the snap, and Ty Law would play a little bit of safety, and Rodney Harrison would come down and play corner, and that used to confuse the hell out of Peyton Manning. There's a couple of interceptions on that highlight reel of Peyton Manning where Ty Law is essentially playing safety, and it gets very confusing for teams. But his ability, like Belichick said, to really do everything well, to rush the passer, to play in coverage, to play the run, all those things allowed him to just kind of line up anywhere he felt like. And I think that Belichick doesn't get enough credit sometimes for being the versatile and kind of the creative mastermind that he is, allowing players like Rodney Harrison to just go wherever they want and then basing the rest of the defense off of that. I think we often think of Belichick as the do it my way or the highway type guy, and it's not always that case.
Back to Harrison specifically said he appreciated Bill Belichick letting him do it his way and be the kind of player he wanted to be.
And not to interrupt, but part of that goes back to Rodney Harrison showing Belichick and the coaching staff during the week he could be trusted with doing some of those things pre-snap and getting away with it and not leaving the defense out on a limb.
Hey, real quick before we get to the last point that I know Trags wants to get to, one of my favorite things, and a lot of people's favorite things, when all these old Patriots get together, all the old Patriot stories, they take us behind the scenes. I mean, quick, 1 or 2 sentences. What was your favorite old Patriot story we heard today? Or maybe from John Hannah talking about Leon Gray back in their playing days.
I thought the moment that stuck out to me with John Hannah on Leon Gray, and he ended his speech, which was very inspirational, on a kind of a sad note. His saddest moment in his Hall of Fame career was that day in 1979 when Chuck Fairbanks left and Leon Gray was traded to Houston. Two of the most important people in John Hannah's career were gone. And Leon Gray, I thought this was a great quote from John Hannah. I loved playing the game hard. Leon Gray made it easy for me.
One of the things that stood out to me was actually something Robert Kraft said. And he said that right after the Patriots didn't make the playoffs in 2002, they signed Rodney Harrison. And a lot of us, I think, just assume that the dynasty would have ticked on just the same way. They could have been to one Super Bowl team if it wasn't for Rodney Harrison.
When he came here.
No. And Rodney Harrison came here, and they reel off back-to-back Super Bowl titles. And Robert Kraft said he didn't come here when the Patriots were already a dynasty. He made the Patriots a dynasty, and I thought that really stood out.
I've got to go with the classic. It was the ground round story.
Yep,
Rodney going on a Wednesday afternoon to the ground round in Walpole. It's a shame there's only 19 of those left. Good food, free popcorn.
How do you know there's only 19 of them left?
You think I don't know how many ground rounds are left on the day Rodney Harrison gets inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame? Come on, Evan.
Let's
research.
And guys, let's not leave out the fact Bill Belichick, at the end of his speech, said Rodney Harrison doesn't just belong in the Patriots Hall of Fame.
Right.
He belongs in
And
Canton.
that's what I wanted to get to. That's that last point I was talking about. Does he get in what? Not what does he need to do? Obviously, he had a very impressive career, but what hurdles does he have to get over? What maybe do other people have to get past for him to get in?
Well, you know this, Evan. The presenters in the room, Super Bowl week, have to make the case that Rodney Harrison was the guy that really kicked off the dynasty defensively for the Patriots. They wouldn't have become the team they became without Rodney Harrison leading the way.
Rodney Harrison is a career 30-30 guy. He's got 30 sacks and 30 interceptions in his career. That is usually like in a Hall of Fame automatically.
Well,
that's like 500 home runs in baseball, right?
Right. Well, there's only one other guy who's done it, and Rodney did it first. He was matched by Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis is very much in the Hall of Fame.
Right. So, I mean, like, you do that, and I just don't understand what else you really need to use as an argument other than the fact that he just played the game the right way on top of that. Obviously, on the field, his production is Hall of Fame worthy.
And I'll give you one more. I know they say playoffs aren't supposed to be a part of Hall of Fame selection, but Bill Belichick mentioned how he loved that Rodney Harrison at his biggest moments in the biggest games. One of only 4 players in NFL since 1999 in the NFL with 50-plus tackles, 2 interceptions, and 2 sacks in the playoffs. One of only 4. 2 of those other 4 are already in the Hall of Fame. Let us know if you think Rodney Harrison belongs in Canton. Let us know in the comments down below or on Twitter at Patriots CLNS. And you can check out his full speech on the CLNS Media YouTube page. For Mike Petraglia and Evan Lazar, I'm Alex Barth. Thanks for watching.